Now, most homeowners would never even consider taking on the task of replacing a broken ceramic tile like this one right in the middle of this kitchen. And this makes it a little harder to repair this when it is in a very visible area, because a lot of times you can't find a tile that matches exactly what you already have down. Well, fortunately here, this homeowner held on to a few of the tiles that were left over when he had this ceramic installed several years ago. Now, that'll make repairing this cracked tile a lot easier and will help us a lot in making it blend in with the rest of the floor.
But the trick to making a clean repair is isolating the broken tile from the rest of the floor. I'm carefully cutting around it with a chisel so that I can remove all of the grout that connects the bad tile to the good ones. This will make it easier to get out, but it also prevents any cracks from transferring to the other tiles as I hammer on the bad one to break it loose. Finally, I'm able to get a chisel under the cracked tile and pry it loose from the floor. Cleanup here is pretty easy because these tiles were laid over an old vinyl floor, which is not uncommon, but it does mean you'll want to use an all-purpose thin set to lay the new tile in because it'll stick best to the vinyl. For a repair like this one, you'll rake out the thin set with a notch trowel, just like you would if you were laying the entire floor, except that the quarters are a bit closer here and you don't need near as much of the thin set. From here, it's pretty easy since we only have just one tile to set. We just make sure that the margins are equal all around and press it into place level with the surrounding tiles. Now, this will have to dry for several hours before we can apply the grout around it to complete the repair, but once it does, you can spread the new grout over the repair and force it into the grooves with the rubber float so that it lays flush with all the surrounding old grout. Matching grout can be real tricky. Even if you've saved some from the original installation, the repair may not match since the grout around the repair likely has seen a stain or two since it first went in. In fact, stained grout itself is a pretty common repair that can be handled in several different ways, the most common of which is to clean it with a bleach solution. But because grout is so porous, this isn't always very effective. You can scrape out the old grout and replace it with new grout, but you can imagine this is a very labor-intensive solution and pretty messy. A grout stain sealer will cover the old grout and seal it, preventing the occurrence of any new stains. This process couldn't be easier since now you can apply these products with a pen